We also need Ukraine to make changes to fix the broken immigration system here.
A lot on his mind, Johnny.
Over $1,300,000,000,300,000,000
Right now ain't a good time to ask.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
I trust you know 2% nothing's fucking nothing.
Among many qualified people, I'm the best qualified person for this job.
The failure to properly value your freedom in the promising days ahead.
I'm beginning to see why your wife left you.
No law either against me breaking your fucking jaw.
Why?
Because I'm sometimes that stupid.
You know, the rapidly rising I don't know.
And fuck us all anyway for the limber dick cocksuckers we are.
Well, howdy, folks. I got a special one for you now. It seems Joe Biden's been caught using OnlyFans. And I want to hear this one. I really want to see this one. So let's take a look and see just where we're going with this.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and I don't know how desperate you have to be. Or maybe it's just a good campaign movement, a good campaign move. I don't know.
Movement.
But
yeah.
Apparently, Joe...
A good campaign movement. Yeah, Joe needs... He needs them movements, for sure. Yeah.
Joe Biden has been spending some time with the OnlyFans creators and, in fact, using them to spread what they are calling, quote, pure political propaganda. It's a pretty interesting little
I'll bet that ain't all they're spreading. How much you want to bet?
Reveal of the President of the United States, very moral, tried and true.
Yes.
If you haven't yet, please do leave a like on this video. Greatly appreciate it. OnlyFans creator, don't really care, claims she was paid to spread political propaganda for the Biden administration. I mean, to be very fair and transparent, really, probably every major political campaign has hired quote unquote influencers over the years. Now,
yeah, but influencers is one thing. Influencer is another thing altogether.
Just looks different. It's TikTok creators, it's Instagram people. Before it was movie stars or whatever, when they had
right, sure.
So, there's not anything inherently salacious about hiring an influencer to influence.
It depends what she's got.
I think it's pretty funny.
It depends what she's got influence her.
That he's getting called out. An OF creator and TikTok stars claim that she was paid to spread political propaganda for the...
Yeah, to spread political propaganda. And it figures, Trump gets put on trial for supposedly paying somebody. And here, old Joe Biden gets to pay somebody. And it's okay. Yeah. Well, we all know what influencers on OnlyFans do.
Biden administration on social media, and that she was asked to hide the fact that it was advertising. Now that is a...
Yeah, I would say she was asked to hide the fact that it was Joe Biden too.
crime. You must disclose advertisements, and this is also particularly true, particularly stringently enforced when you're talking about political spending. When you're talking about, politics, political spending, political, ads and things of that nature, it's actually incredibly strict.
Yeah.
She said she'd been asked to boast about Then Judge Kenjati Brown Jackson to her tens of thousands of social media followers after Brown Jackson was nominated to the Supreme Court by President Biden. I was doing full-on political propaganda, the social media personality said during a recent podcast with commentator Richard, I also don't know or care, Farah, whatever, on how surrogates for Biden administration tried to pay her to engage in identity politics and sell their message, a rare case of racial division as a top-down phenomenon. They're literally buying TikTok advertisers. So interesting here. This looks like this is, well, let's see.
So you were in school, you were still in college when you started as a TikTok person, right? Or you started OnlyFans when you were in school too?
No, I started TikTok like the spring semester of my senior year, and I was like, fuck, I finally have to start applying for law school. And then like, you know, female privilege, life is so easy for a, you know, woman. Obviously I lucked out. I'm just kidding. I lucked out. And then, you know, TikTok was basically full time for me. I think I was taking ads by the time I graduated college from like the Biden administration and Planned Parenthood and like dating apps and stuff. So
Whoa. So Planned Parenthood,
Yeah.
and the Biden administration were paying OF creators. Shocking.
it was like fully financially, you know, sustaining
So you were
me.
getting, the Biden administration was buying ads from you?
Yeah, I was doing full on political propaganda.
And they would just, oh really? With like what kind of, like Biden created 10 million jobs
Yeah,
this year?
yeah, honestly. And the funny
Well, again, I want to point out that like Biden paying somebody to do promotion for him is not illegal. Not disclosing it is. Asking them to not disclose it is double illegal.
thing is, they're like, do not disclose this is an ad because, you know, they're like, technically it's not a product, so you don't have to disclose it's an ad. Because
Yes, you do have to disclose. That is a violation of federal voting commissions, I think, right? But you see, the question is, are Republicans doing the same thing on their side? And if so, why not? What about federal?
Why
campaign
not? Because
disclosure
we ain't a
laws?
bunch of pervs.
That's what I, this is what all parties do now, co-parter. I mean, I would not be surprised that all parties don't. I mean, all parties, of course, do stuff like this, but you're not allowed to tell them that it's not, that they're doing it as not an ad. By the way, take the Biden administration out of it. Take that out of it, right? The platforms themselves require you to disclose if this is a paid advertisement.
I think they just wanted like some edgy girl of color to just tell people, like when they nominated like Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're like, can you say like as a person of color, do you know that you feel reflected? And it's like a white woman emailing this to me, and she's like giving me this script, and I'm like, no. And she's like, please. And I'm like, no, I'll like talk about the news of it, but I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna have a white person tell me to be like, this is how I feel as a person of color. Like it's
so also paying them, it would appear, to spread racial division. Well, I guess to promote racial identity politics.
just so, I think that black pilled me slightly on like, political propaganda
So
stuff.
the Biden
Yeah. The Democrats want to split. Gotta talk about that racial stuff too, They really want to split this country up wide open on that racial divide. I respect this girl for not doing I'm not gonna have a white person telling me that I need to, how I feel about it as a woman of color and all this. I think he's just a perv to start with. Okay, you can't tell me he don't have OnlyFans on his fucking phone. Okay, or OnlyFans on his computer. I'd like to see. Obviously, Hunter does. You can bet Hunter does.
administration sees, here's this young.
Yeah, I mean they use like a conduit. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not Biden, but it's like a third party. You know what I mean? It's like a media company that's doing it on his behalf. I'm not blaming him for this.
Yeah, and the message is like, because you're a dark-skinned woman, you will be inspired by Ketanji Brown Jackson, and all the kids should support her.
Yeah, they're like, basically as like another black person, just say that like you feel reflected by Ketanji. I'm like, no, I'll talk about like Ketanji's background and her accomplishments.
I actually don't think she's not black. She's looks to be Indian or something of that nature. But yeah, obviously this is a major campaign. Of course, it's probably buried inside of multiple layers of, this third, fourth, fifth party agency, that they'll never actually be able to tie this. I mean, you can look at, what's that loser, Harry Sisson? Everybody knows he gets paid. What about that other loser, Brooklyn Dad Defiant? Everybody knows he gets paid. All right, he gets paid to shill for the Democratic National Committee. Harry Sisson, who apparently is single-handedly, revealing some interesting things about the right's female commentators, I guess. But this guy's fine with doxing. This guy's fine screaming at women. He's a real piece of garbage. And then people are like, "Hey, look, we got a Tesla. We got a Tesla Cybertruck. Let's pose with this douchebag." And people didn't like that. Anyway, yeah, Harry Sisson's a piece of trash, and I don't want him. He's making me not want a Cybertruck. Also, the price.
But like, I never, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say like the corny stuff. Even if it was a brown person emailing it to me, I'm like, no, that's not like how I feel. Like, I don't look at like Katanji and feel like, wow.
Yeah.
So interesting fun fact, by the way. Here's some fun. I thought I'd share some fun facts about all these interesting people that put pictures of the beehole on the internet. Did you know that 90% of them are married? 90%. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Here's all.
Yeah, well, I just I give a shit how many of them are married, but by God, I'll tell you, it just par for the course. Just par for the course, old Joe. Gotta have them OnlyFans to advertise for him. But now that deal where it says don't tell them that this is advertisement, this is political advertisement. Now that is against the law, straight up. Even at the bottom of a TV commercial that's political, this ad paid for by, they gotta say that shit. Okay, it's the way it is, and if you don't go by the rules, then by God, that can be brought right up for you. And I think this needs to be looked into. That's for sure. So, well, that's just a little funny part for you. So I thought I saw it and I went, oh, I got to make a video on this one. So y'all fucking have a good day. And I'm going to have a good day myself. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care.